Um, yeah, the actual report that came in today kind of messed up my chart, and I didn't take it, and for that specific reason because of the event. When CPI comes out, you don't want to be trading. You don't want to be caught getting squeezed out of a trade just because you didn't pay attention to the news event. By the way, a little bit bearish as far as the CPI goes, but not that bad. I don't know where the market is going to bring us, honestly. So we'll see where that will bring us in a few days. Usually we kind of do what we just did, right? We rally through the events, and when the events get out, we dumped afterward. Usually from the past CPI report, this is what we see. Hi everyone. That could be still the case. We'll see what is going to happen after that. So I'm going to share my screen to show you what I had in mind today. Okay, let me just pop the chat again. There you go. Okay, so this is BCH on the 15 minutes. Now it's 5, but it was on the 15 minutes. And we can see clear wave structure on that. So we have the break of the structure. So we're going down here, breaking out of it. So it means you have to take a look at CH1 or 35A. And we see a nice one wave. We see a nice going to 3 as an impulse wave. You guys see my screen, right? I see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, I just see it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my screen is on Zenzis. So check your settings. So we have impulse wave 1, retracement to 2, impulse wave 3, retracement to 4, and final impulse wave to 5. It's almost textbooks 3-5 Elliott wave. If you can take a look at those impulse wave are clean, and the 5th wave is kind of the final boss of video games, right? It just goes quickly in one candle to the actual top of 5. If you fib the one wave over here, you're using the actual Fibonacci trend-based fib, the trend-based fib from 0 to 1 back to 0. You get the 261.8 at the top of 5. You also get the rule of alternation, which is there. 2 is simple, 4 is complex, 3 is not the smallest, and I didn't even fib the actual all move. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, we see reaction over here. We see reaction on that fib retracement tool of the all move. So yeah, that was a pretty good Elliott wave. So we came crashing back down. I like to draw a trend line from the bottom of 2 to the bottom of 4 and see where the price show weakness. It did show weakness over here. Almost came to entry and kind of wave over here. The only thing I don't like about that setup is that this is a deep retracement of the A. Let me identify them. This is a deep retracement of A. It means that your risk to reward usually is going to be lower than 3. So that's the only issue I have with that setup. We even have overbought on the 3 and 5 on the inventory signal. We don't have a divergence of price, which could again be added confluence to that trade. And do we have a 61.8? Let's try to see if we have a 61.8 of that move. Yeah, we do. So added confluence on that specific setup was that if you trend base, you trend retrace, you use a fib retracement tool from the latest wave, that wave over here, that is going to retrace. We see that the retracement of that was bullseye on the 618. Added confluence that this might reverse on us. So yeah, for me it was a super nice setup, but didn't came to entry on that specific occasion. And yeah, and the fact that we were right next to the CPI report kind of made me double think about that setup anyway. So, any questions about that setup? I know you guys want to sometimes review basic rules of the 3-5A. Do you guys have questions about that specific setup? Can pop them in the chat if you have some. Is it new to some of you guys? Who here is brand new? Because I think we have some new people in here, but welcome, 2, 3. No, who's your new? Newbie to never trick. Ah, come on. I don't see the profile picture, so now you can mess up with me. I knew you and be new. If you're new, welcome. If you have questions about we're kind of doing the 3-5A right now. So Um, Again, I'm going to resume a little bit of that just so we get on the same page for the new people. The
Hey,
358 is a base. Yeah.
hey, Joe, I have a question. We were actually looking at this in peer trades yesterday, but the I forget who had shared it, but they had the one wave starting earlier, which put the fib projection off. And I was curious, do you always start your one wave after the trend break? Is that like a rule? We were starting, or we weren't, but the person that was sharing and asking for feedback was starting their one wave at that swing low before the trend break, like right maybe like 181 or one, yeah, down there, and that threw it off because it put the 2618 way above. Um,
Let me
when you
flip it
do
to
it,
see.
yeah,
So that was your setup, right?
yeah, and that was so.
Well,
Then when we saw that, it was invalidated. But obviously, when you start the one where you did, it's right on.
and honestly, I didn't play with the fib settings on that. I actually draw my trend line on the break of the trend, draw my fib from this one because for me that for obvious reason. As for myself, I found that this one could be a one wave, and it came bullseye on the 2618. So I didn't push any further than that. But usually, the Elliott wave, you need to find the break of a trend. It's a new structure. Why I didn't take the actual beginning of the wave over here is because of the break of the trend, that one over here.
Got it.
We were underneath it and coming out of it, and this is the most prominent wave, right? We see a
Yep.
nice big push. So something's happening here. So buyers came in. So it shows me that the price is changing direction from a downtrend to an uptrend. I want to draw. I want to pay attention to that. And yeah, if I was drawing from this one at the beginning, I would have probably go from this one either way because just the way things work and the way you don't have to be right off the bat when you chart, right? You can chart, look around, zoom out, see what I did over here. The 61.8. I don't know if you guys found that in the peer trade idea. The 61.8 of that move ends up at the fifth wave. That kind of thing
Cool.
is super nice to have. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Joe.
you're welcome. So yeah, break of a trend. Just because if it's a break of a trend, I analyze stuff and I decided to go for that for the one way. If four passing, if A is passing four, like passing like crazy and consolidating below the fourth wave, the like maybe this one over here, this is not valid anymore because sometimes the price can skip the B wave. Sometimes price can go straight in almost a straight line like this. And if it does this and retrace back up, this is a trend reversal pattern that we trade on the 358. And when the price pattern is done, the price action will or might resume the its previous state. In that specific case, it was an uptrend, right? This is just a corrective wave. It's not mean to change direction and break a new low out of it. So when the corrective pattern is done, price will resume another wave, which could again be like this one, not this, not the ABC, but it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again with another ABC, which constitute another wave in the higher time frame when you zoom out. So pay attention that if the price breaks A, and it looks and feel like a C wave, and because the B didn't quite go to the 618 for your entry, or it didn't, it went straight to the C, then pay attention because you will get stopped out in most of the time just because the way the nature of the price action is resuming and yeah, resuming to its state of higher highs and higher lows. So pay attention to that. I see that in the comments. Uh, Correction rate to be valid on A. Oh yeah, okay. So you got your answer. This is on Mexi chart. What is your thought when charting and seeing a large spike in price following a large pullback in a couple of candles, such as a retracement of mana and other? It depends. Is it specific to that exchange? If you take a look at other exchanges, Bybit or Mexi, or because we had that in on Femex. Sometimes the price action went through the moon in one candles and came crashing back down, and you take a look at other exchanges and the price action was not the same on other exchanges. So yeah, you can exclude those big wicks because if I'm buying, I'm a huge buyer and I buy on one exchange, it doesn't mean that the price will rise on other exchanges as soon as I buy if I'm the only one, right? So it causes a wick and it causes a spike in the price action on that specific exchange and that may be on other exchanges. So pay attention to that. It's similar on other exchanges. What are your thoughts on charting and seeing a large spike? Did it invalidate your setup? if yes, then you have your answer. You go to something else. Yeah, pay attention to CPI as well, because CPI is the moment where it could break a trend or make a new trend out of it. So the FOMC meeting as well are huge momentum creators. So pay attention to that. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So again, the 358 is a trend reversal pattern. So for me to take a trend reversal pattern, I need to see confluence. If you just draw 5 wave and you're like, I'm taking this because I'm tired of it staying on the sideline, you need to have confluence around your trade. And the way you can add confluence again is if you zoom out, you get a nice 61.8 retracement here hit on the 5th. Why 61.8? Because this is the strongest point of reversal on that pattern. So you get a 5 getting hit. You get a nice formation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at the 261.8. Check that box. If you draw a trend line from the 2 and the 4 at the bottom of this one, and the price is breaking it, it's another confluence. If you zoom out and you see, now we don't, but if we see some things like a channel that we don't over here, I know you guys won't see it, but if you see a channel like parallel lines, and the 5th is at the actual top, that's added confluence. You have to make sure to have as much confluence as you can on those. You don't want to leave it to luck, right? And yeah, the thing that again, if you take a look at the A retracement here, which is super near to the fourth wave, when you get that, it gets for a deep 161.8, right? Like we have right now. And when you take your profit, you want to use a trend-based fib tool from 5 to A back to 5 when you don't have a valid B, and you aim for the 161.8. In that specific setup, the 161.8 is pretty down there. I mean, if you take a fib of the whole level, the 618 is like in your price could very well go to the 618, bounce over there, skip you. Yeah, you would be break even, but skip you from your actual nice trade and go on with its life. So that's the reason why we don't like deep retracement of A wave, because usually when you have a deep retracement, it doesn't mean that the B wave, which is used to make your final take profit, is going to be deep like this one over here. If we would have get filled on that, imagine how crappy our risk reward would be. If we fib now to get the final take profit, you fib the B from B to A back to B using the trend base fib extension tool, and you aim for the 161.8. See how this is garbage now. This is 2.2 risk reward. We were supposed to aim for 2.3. So the fact that the A was deep retracement, the B wave entry is kind of crappy as well. It doesn't mean that the B is going to be a deep retracement tool, a deep retracement too. So you might have to skip that trade just because of the fact that the risk to reward is not going to gain you anything, and it might even be too risky for you to take that trade. Is it clear? I don't know if I'm clear today. Do you use a fib retracement from 5 to 8 to set up your entry point? No, we use the 5 to 8 to set your exit point, your take profit point. When you have a and the price is coming back up, now it's time for you to take the trend-based fib extension from 5 to 8 and to aim for the 161.8. You just want to use that point to make sure that the trade is worth taking. Again, we aim for a 3-to-1 risk ratio. But if we get a shallow retracement of B wave after that, then it trash your actual risk to reward. So yeah, that's the reason why one of the trade that was signaled got a 2.75 risk reward. It's not that bad, but it's not the 3 and 4 risk ratio that we want to aim sometimes for. So that's the reason why you have to pay attention to that. And when you have a valid B, this is now you want to do the trend base again to search for the final take profit. And yeah, and you take the 161.8 or the 261.8, the one that is closer to the overall 618 of the overall move. And why do you take the 161.8? You guys remember? Did you guys were into the main mentoring session on the Monday? Do I have still that chart? I think I still have it. There you go. So why do we take the 161.8? Because when the 161.8 get hit, sometimes the price revert into the other opposite C. We were in a downtrend. Now we came out of it. We came to entry. We came to take profit. And what did the price did afterward? It bounced back down, and now it's in oblivious mode, right? So if you're waiting for the actual 2618 because you want to have like 5-to-1 risk ratio, we could have that in some market, but not in the market that we're in right now. So don't be greedy. Take your profit like this week gave us the take profit, and it was over after that. So you have to be careful to not be greedy as well. Can we trade wave B as TC1? You mean downward? It depends if it fits your the criteria of the TC1. If I go back to BCH. Yeah, the B usually B wave could be treated as a as a as a TC1, but the TC1 is a trend continuation pattern. So I don't see any trend continuation down on the that this is just the first wave, right? So if you're aiming to do a TC1 over here, it doesn't fit that bill, and it doesn't fit the bill that the EMAs are not aligned for you to take the TC1 in that specific situation. You would need another one wave or another wave to be able to achieve that. Yes, Jordan.
Hi. I just
Hi.
have a quick question. So on a lot of these, I mean, that I've been doing the 3-5A, one of the issues I'm having is like the A wave. So even if you look at this chart, what
Yeah.
do you look for to validate your A wave? Because like you can see the first one, it looks like it could possibly be an A, and then it drops back down, and then it drops back down again. Because
Yeah.
one of the issues I keep having is like the A wave keeps retesting, and I'm thinking it's like bouncing up to the B, but then it retests it again. So what do you like to look for in that scenario?
Doesn't matter in the end. I mean, if this is I was aiming for that to be the actual B wave. I like that very much because it wasn't a deep retracement of A. If that would have been A, but I'm aiming for the 618. So as long as the price is not crossing 4, I still consider the next entry to be the 618 of that move. Did we miss some trades? Yes, we did. Will you miss some trade? Yes, you will. This we aim for the 618 just because it's a strong sign of reversal of that. In the core of the Elliott wave, price could not have to go to the 618 to revert back down. But we aim for that because this is the confluence we use for that specific strategy. But yeah, you will get at least you didn't get stopped out, right? But if if price of A crossed 4 and it start to revert back up, now you're asking to get stopped out out of that trade. So as long as the price is not crossing 4, I'm still going to consider the next wave up to be the B1.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Can you trade a C wave on the lower time frame as a TC1? Of course. If you see a big on the 1 hour or 4 hour, you see the big Elliott wave, and you're kind of considering that. Yeah, of course. If you go in the 5 minutes after that, you zoom in, you take a look at the chart, the AMA are aligned. Yeah, and that could be added confidence for sure that the TC1s could work if you see an Elliott wave in the upper time frame. You can trade a C wave on the lower time frame as a TC1. Yeah. Yeah, Jack.
Joe, is there any overlap between the ABC movement of the 3-5A and the next ABDC, like the harmonic patterns you get? Are you familiar with those? Goes back to
Can you
looking
repeat
at
the
70s
question?
by Dali, harmonic trading pattern. So using the ABC off the back of a 3-5A, does that overlap with the XABDC pattern? I've been testing an indicator to see if there was some confluence, and it seems to match up every time, but I don't know if that's me getting lucky or if it's a valid overlap, if that makes sense.
You mean this one right here, the ABDC, like the triangle one?
Yes.
That's a good question. I don't check for that, but if you find confidence for that, yeah, of course, add it to your confidence list as far as trading goes. But I don't use it, but it could be present for sure.
I was just put onto a friend of mine's a forex trader, and I was trying to explain the 3-5A system, and he said, "Oh, you know this harmonics because what he and his buddies do in forex is they trade through C to bounce back on D. That's their long or short to the D wave, or what we would call a D wave."
Yeah, honestly, I'd have to push more on the harmonic side to kind of understand it more. But yeah, of course, we didn't invent something new, right? If a trade is working, it's because other traders are using it, right? You don't want to be the one using it, the first one to use a strategy, and you don't want to be the last one on a bigger scale of strategy because you're gonna get front run in and out. So yeah, of course, the Elliott wave. A lot of people are trading Elliott wave. A lot of people are trading it different way. This is the end of a trade's way that is working. So Maybe this guy is using harmonic, which is for him his way of trading in Elliott wave.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna take a look at some chart right now. So if you guys have questions, you can just post them in the chart. I don't know if I'm gonna find something because we had such a big move on the latest days, and we kind of had the pattern are already there, right? I mean the pattern to get the Elliott wave and all are all already there or on its way down. So we get this. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here, but it's not. They all show the same sign of Elliott wave right now, but yeah, that's a big B wave. When you see disproportional wave like that, you have to pay attention to that. It might not be valid anymore. Movement, sideways motion like it does right now, and consolidation into a triangle usually leads to a breakout of it. And if your entry is at the breakout, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a successful trade for you. On the back of what Jordan said, so after the fifth wave, you see a pivot back on the first dip. Will you plot still look for the 6 wave retracement if it miss? Yeah. As long as the price is not, you need for the let's go back to my chart for the trade the 358 to be valid. You need the fifth wave to be crossing 3 at least, because you need to draw the downward channel from 3 to the 3 to 8. If you don't have a downward channel and you consider this one here to be A, this is not an A. This is just a general movement of the price action. So yeah, this is an upward channel. It's not valid. You have to wait for the price of action to break 3. And after the price action break 3, now you want to take a look at a retracement at the 61.8. If this one is missing, then the other one, I'm going to take a look. If price is crossing 4, it's invalidated for me. I'm going to move on to something else. If price comes to 4 and comes back up, then it could still be valid. You're welcome. Okay, let's go to, we have ADA here. Yeah, we had a lot of this one wave, it's not good. This one wave. This could be a one wave. So we could have on the 30 minutes this. I don't like the fact that we have big spikes like those one here. This could be a 3, this could be a 3. There is many options here. 4 is simple, 3 is complex. But I don't like the big spike complex wave, the complexity of the third wave. I don't know if I'd like that. Anyway, the price came crushing 4. So scratch that. We might have this then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Price it did cross. Did we get a 61.8 retracement here? I don't think so, but let's just chart it if it was a win already. No, it's not. So yeah, price crossed 4. So invalidated. That's all go that we checked with the moderators yesterday. Looks to be fine. But this was an hybrid trade. It was a trade CH1 entry to the 358 take profit. But we'll see. We're just starting over here to see where it's gonna go. We have alpha. Alpha. Do we have something on alpha? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of wave. Lots of consolidation. I don't see anything on the 15 minutes. Maybe. No, I don't see anything. Nothing's worth taking here. Nothing's worth taking here, no, neither. Big spike. Ape is kind of in the trash anyway. Harb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B. Nope. Consolidation. Let's get that. This is Adam. 1, 2, 3. No. Don't like the third wave again. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, invalid because of the 4 crossing 1. A, B, C. It could have been a win though. But just because the A was crossing 1 by 1 wick. Yeah. A, B. See, could have been a win. Yep, but yeah, you have to set some rules for yourself sometimes. So, AVAX. And on the 15, I don't see anything. AVAX was in the downtrend, came out of it. To go back down into a downtrend. Yeah, that could be a CH1 though. We'll get this. Huh. Nothing's defined as far as it was a CH1. Not at the right spot though, man. Look at this reaction at the top of here. We don't like the CH1 to come to that specific region. Usually we like them to be at the crossing of those area here. So that would be a nice over here. CH1, but that big spike still got reacted to the actual channel. Yeah, but it's done. That ship has sailed already. Axis Infinity. Yeah, that could be one. This. First wave, no. Nothing's good over here. Okay, we're in the downtrend over here. We came out of the downtrend. If we do this, do we get it? No, we don't. Okay. Nothing is good for now. BCH is still going. BNB. Well. I draw this like yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, but I didn't like the fact that we did an A, B. No, we did an A. It's not an A since it didn't cross 3. This was an A, so the entry is here at the crossing of that. 3 and 5 are overbought, and we get slight divergence of price. But the old consolidation move, it's kind of awkward. Did we get a take profit on that? If this is B, we might. And if this is B, no, we didn't. Yeah, it's an awkward chart. BNB is kind of awkward as a whole. Bitcoin, what are you doing, Bitcoin? Are you going back to 29K? You get a clean Elliott wave in there. I don't chart Bitcoin quite often. No, that's a 4. No, too big retracement, but that's a nice wave structure though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and C, but it's still crawling back up because of the news. I'm gonna go back down, guys, to all my lists, and I have HBAR, XMR, I have LDO and OPU on that, so I should go to them either way. And that's Chili. Chili, what are you doing, Chili? You're testing new low. Okay. You're into a new low. So this is a strong. Yeah, we're in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not quite on the levels that we like to see. I don't see anything was worth taking here.
Hey,
See,
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead.
What can you again show you were checking with fib retracement extension? What exactly, which conditions were you checking when you were trying to see, trying to use the fib extension?
Well, the fib extension tool is used to fib the 0 to 1 level. If I have a one wave over here, let me zoom out a little bit. So if we chart this, you use a fib retracement, the fib trend-based fib to fib the 0 to 1 back to 0, and it shows the level of the fifth that you're expecting. Usually the fifth should end to the 261.8 or the 361.8 of that fib trend-based fib.
And it should not lie in between, right? It should either be very
No,
close
not in
to.
between. In between is too random. We need to set rules for ourselves, and this is the rules of that. The 358.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So Chili's is a no-go. Comp. Big push. Okay, big push, big push. Do we have something else we could trade out of this? We could do, well. Is it too late? Okay, is this? I think this is kind of a trend. We did make a new high, but which high should we use to do a CH1? We don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to plan that. Those big wave and big candles are hard to trade for sure. 1, 2, we don't have anything. I don't see any Elliott wave in there. Consolidation and break out of it. Yeah, 1, 2, maybe this one over here. Let's try it. I don't like the fact that we don't know if this is really a one wave or not. This is too big anyway, so no. Unfortunately, nothing to trade right now as far as com goes. This is Doge. When you draw a channel, do you chart the resistance if it is a downtrend and use the support if it's an uptrend? Yeah, as the CH1, you need to have two. If you're longing, you need to have two. Yeah, let me chart it for you guys. If you want a long, you need to have two levels that you need to draw your channel, your trend to, and you want to clone that to the one that it is down there, expecting to get along on this one if price is coming back down. Reverse if you choose to short the actual market. So in this specific case, we have a downtrend here, test, and coming out of it as a top. So now you have 2 points over here, a higher highs and a lower highs, which is fine, but it's still a higher highs. And you clone that on the one that you have at the bottom and expecting too long on the other side. I don't like the specific case over here, but this is the actual idea of the CH1. This was that didn't came to entry at all to my CH1 that I had planned, but still it was a good trade since it won, but it won without me. This is not a one wave. Is this a one wave? I don't like the fact that we have multiple levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Everything seems undecided for now. You see the price consolidating on sideways motion. Nothing is decided. Yeah, this is not good either way. Okay. This is E-gold. And a freaking downtrend from that. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Here, yeah. Downtrend. General downtrend on the 1 hour, 15 minutes. What do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this could have been this, no? Like this one, do we have a 3 and 5? We don't, do we? Yeah, we do have a little divergence. We're both oversold on the 3 and 5. Okay, if we hit that level, do we get level that we can? No, we don't. Yeah, we don't have a good levels for that. That could have been a good trade though. We don't know if the fifth is a real fifth, so not taking any chance on that. Again, this is Ethereum. Ethereum is way past the 261.8. This could have been a one wave over here. So if this is a one wave, could this be? No, it cannot, since we went lower. So this is not a one. This is not a one wave. The one below might be a one wave, but if this is a one wave, we might have not seen an actual fifth wave yet. We'll see. But again, nothing very strong right now as far as the trade goes. We don't see any pattern that is worth taking. So we have a downtrend over here. More like this. FTM coming out of it, making a new high. Nope, not like that. Like this, maybe. Yeah, could have been that though. Could we have taken this if we take this one over here. No. I don't know if we would have been able to catch this as a CH1. Yep, we might. So if we draw trend lines over here from those steps over here. It's not very precise. Let me just redraw that a little bit. Clone that to the bottom of this one. If we take those one over here and the this one, this high over here to the same high, and we clone that on the bottom, we can see we have reaction. It's not at the actual right now. Again, we like to see those. Hold on. We like to see an entry at that specific position over here, but in that case, we didn't. We got a huge spike. And do we get it? No, we don't get a 61.8, but yeah, clone. Maybe close. So our entry would have been about here on this one and take profit at the 61.8. That's a CH1 though. It's not a 358. This, yeah, out of the trade already and at full profit at 4 risk factor on that. But it's easier to see them after the fact than it is seeing them before the fact. So, but yeah, that could have been the trade. But I don't know if I would have taken this just by the look of it. But yeah, still, it's a valid chart. I'm gonna take a look at the chat. You have look at Avi on 5 minutes. I did on Avi. I didn't like Avi. I don't know what you look at right now. This one over here on 5 minutes. I mean, I should see it on 15 either way. I don't see your 5-way pattern. This could have been your 5. Is this your no 5 yet?
I'll post it in the chat, in the team chat in a second.
Okay.
So I think I had the one wave at 52.16. So I can't remember. So if you scroll out slightly, starting it from down that part. But I think I started the one wave, there where you just had the cursor. There.
Yeah. So this is your one wave. But what is your fourth?
Well, there's two key resistance areas. There's 52.8, I think, if you scroll out on the 4 hour.
But my first wave is okay?
Yep. Let me just quickly screenshot this and put it in.
This is the first wave. You're not gonna be able to, the fourth wave is breaking the one.
Right.
Yeah, post it in the chat afterward. I'm gonna continue my way down to my list and post it in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go OPU. People wanted to talk about OPU. On 15 minutes, let's take a look. I don't know if you guys charted that on the 15 minutes. If we zoom out, I'm gonna draw a trend line over here. I don't know, right? Maybe this one over here. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this one is a 1. Yeah, it could be that. And we have a fifth. We have a divergence of price.
John, can you explain a little bit about divergence? When you look at third and the fifth wave, you look for divergence. What exactly divergence means? You are looking for a downtrend, oversold, or?
Divergence of price. It's showing that the price action is making higher highs, like this one over here, but the RSI is showing lower highs on the. If you take a look at the position of 3 right now, I'm going to circle that on the chart, and you take the position of 5th over here, and you draw a trend line on those 2 levels over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's downward. See the RSI is showing lower highs, and while the price action is showing higher highs. So
yes,
that action shows weakness in the price action and weakness in the stock. So price reversal might be imminent. This is what it shows you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. But in that specific case, on the 15 minutes, I think it already. Ooh, that's crazy, right? Because I don't see what you guys are trading on that, because this is not a 61.8 retracement. I'm just gonna get rid of that. This is not a retracement of 61.8. This is not a retracement. Could be. Hold on. No, it's not. So no 61.8 over here entry. No 61.8 over here entry. Price break 8 invalid. So for the one suggesting OPU, do you have a chart that you want to post? for me to take a look at, because this one is not valid anymore. Just because it broke the actual 4, and the way that it's reacted, sideway motion, consolidation, it's asking for trouble right now. If you want to short that, it's gonna break 5 for sure, in my opinion, though. Let's go Pepe. No, let's skip Pepe. See Pepe, this is crazy stuff. How do you want us to chart that? Crazy stuff. I don't use those crazy coin. I want stability in my life. I don't want trouble. That's R&D. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see those right now. We already did on alpha on 15 minutes. The problem with alpha is that either it's already went to, yeah, let's rechart that. I didn't know why I didn't like it. I still don't like it that much. 3 is not the smallest, but super close to it. A, B, and right now you should, yeah, you're pretty much getting stopped out right now, no? And one of the reasons is that if you draw a trend line again on those, your entry is not past the trend line, it's at the trend line. So, and it bounced on the EMA. If you take a look, zoom in on that EMA, I think that might have been the 50 EMA. Yeah, it's a 50 EMA price bounce of it, and now it's coming up again. I don't see anything worth trading on that for sure, unfortunately for you. That is what it's OPU. That's on 5 minutes. Let's go on 5 minutes. I don't usually trade those on 5 minutes, but let's try them. I don't see where you are. What kind of, are you on 30 minutes? What, this is on 30 minutes. Yeah, I just saw the number on your. Yeah, but again, price crossed 4. Okay, so this is your 4 for you. You're waiting for your 5th. So if we remove that, could it be that? Of course it can be. Everything's possible. And if we fib that level, yeah. We have a trend over here, break out of it. Yeah, of course. Pay attention to the price action and see if price comes again to the 261.8 and comes back down. We have a divergence of price on that specific price action here, but do we have? It's almost on the 1 hour. It's kind of a, I don't know. What I don't like about it. I don't know what I don't like about it. We don't have oversold on 3. We do on 3, but we don't have yet on 5. So we'll see if overbought, sorry, on 5. We'll see if it flashes on the Inhibitrade indicator, and we don't know if we have a divergence yet. Yeah, draw a trend line on that 2 and 4. It didn't quite break it, so I'll watch it. Right now you don't have anything other than that, right? The actual Elliott wave. Let's try to fib with the fib retracement that level over here. Could be. I'll watch it, but I'm scared of that trend line. The price break out of that trend line and retest it, and now it's going upward. We'll see. Sometimes the price needs to relax and to retrace. This is how it works, right? It's supply and demand. So we'll see how things going to work. What win rate do we expect for the 358 in the long run? It depends of the type of market. It depends of the trader. It depends of the type of the market. But yeah, usually you can even be profitable with 30 to 40% win rate. You don't need a big win rate to. That's a myth. People that needs a big win rate is because they trade 1 to 1.5 risk ratio. So do you scroll out at longer time frame to see the market? Yeah, of course, I always do. That's a meeting. I know some people don't. I want to see where are my support and resistance over here. Those are crucial into my trading. So I want to see where are the support and resistance before. Am I at support and I try to actually short it and I'm at support? Yeah, it's important for you to know that if you're trying to short at support, you have a low low win rate on that one. But if you're trying to long on a support, and you're like, that's added confluence. Yeah, take a look at zoom out and take a look at the general area of where the market is. So that leads to the conclusion of this one, guys. Yeah, future win rate is kind of the key. I know 3-5A sometimes have a hard time in some type of market, but we'll get out of it for sure. 3-5A is a nice strategy anyway. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, take care, everyone. I hope you're gonna have a wonderful week of trading. I'll hang around in the chat in the Discord if you have questions, and if you don't, yeah, Godspeed to you guys. Take care.